So I saw Joker over the weekend. Let's have a discussion. This is not going to be a review. I was thinking about doing a review, but it's a little bit too late for that. Everybody's already done their reviews. I'm late to the draw. The weekend is over. Everybody's seen it already. If you haven't seen it, you might not want to watch this video because I will be talking about spoilers. But I just want to get my thoughts out. So if you haven't seen it, if you have seen it, or you don't care, come on in, folks. Let's hear me ramble about this movie that we've seen. So right off bat, if you want to know what I think about this movie, I've seen it twice already, all right? First time I seen it, I thought it was good. I think Joaquin Phoenix did a great job. His performance was phenomenal, right? But I just thought the movie was okay. It wasn't really, anything crazy. But for some reason, I kept thinking about this movie, so I had to see it again. Second time I watched it, much better movie. Much better movie. It's really good. Still not great, but it's definitely better than I was giving it credit for. I'd give this movie a solid B, maybe a B+. Joaquin Phoenix, he sells this movie. He makes this movie, he gives it that extra oomph. So if you want to give it a B+, if I was to give it a B+, it would be because of Joaquin Phoenix. Again, it's not great, but it's solid. Really good. If you haven't seen it, see it. Alright, so let's get into the discussion. First thing we want to talk about is the Joker himself, alright? And Joaquin Phoenix's portrayal of the Joker. Now, there's going to be a discussion about who is the better Joker, Heath Ledger or Joaquin Phoenix. It's really close. I don't subscribe to the idea that you can't compare these two performances because they were completely different performances. That is true. Heath Ledger plays Joker. The way they play Joker is very different from each other. And that's based on part because of the tone of the movies. Heath Ledger's Joker is more of it's a comic book character. It's a comic book. As realistic as it is, it doesn't really compare to what Joaquin Phoenix did with the character of the Joker. Joaquin Phoenix's depiction of the Joker is the most realistic depiction of the Joker you're ever going to see. And with that said, it's more of a character study. So they're two completely different performances, but again, they are playing the same character. They're both playing the Joker. So with that being said, you should be able to compare the two. And I believe, I'm just going to go out and say it, Heath Ledger's Joker is still like the all-time greatest Joker performance that I've seen. But Joaquin Phoenix is right here, right here. If Heath Ledger's up here, Joaquin Phoenix is right here. Maybe like right here, like edge and edge. But Heath Ledger edges it out. Joaquin Phoenix, that's not taken away, like I said, his performance was phenomenal. He really dives into the inner workings of what makes the Joker tick. I really didn't think they could pull this off. It's a movie about a villain, and I wasn't too keen of the idea of having a Joker movie without Batman. Like, how do you do, like, the Joker doesn't exist without Batman. Batman is a protagonist, and the Joker is supposed to be that antagonistic force, the complete opposite that pushes Batman, right? So if you don't have Batman there, like, what's the point? It's kind of the same thing of how I felt with Venom. How do you do a Venom movie without Spider-Man? Both movies did pretty well in the box office, but I will say that Venom was kind of trash. Like, I really think Venom doesn't work without Spider-Man. There were some good things about that movie. I don't want to go too deep off of Joker, but I think, yeah, he just doesn't work that well without Spider-Man. But, yeah, back to the Joker. Back to Joker. There's no "the" in the title. But, much better movie. Much better movie about a villain. And I'm surprised that they were able to pull this off. Now, I want to talk about the Joker. How do I say this? There are things that I didn't like about this movie, and I'm going to get into detail about that a little bit later on in this discussion. It's not a review, it's just a discussion. But let's talk about his laugh, all right? There was a lot of things going on in this movie, a lot of symbolism, and I think that if you've seen this movie and you didn't pay attention, go back and watch this movie again and pay attention to the laughs. He had multiple laughs for different occasions, right? And this goes into the essence of who the Joker is, all right? So first off, you had his, I forget what they call it, some type of condition, right? Where you laugh uncontrollably. And we already know where those scenes are if you've seen the movie. Like when he's talking with his counselor and he's laughing uncontrollably, probably because he's sad or he's thinking about something. Other times that he's laughing uncontrollably is when he's embarrassed, like when he's on the bus and the black lady with the kid yells at him. He just bursts out into laughter, probably because of embarrassment. When he goes to the comedy club and he does his comedy bit, you know, he's probably nervous, embarrassed being off stage. He starts laughing uncontrollably. Other times he's laughing uncontrollably is when he's in stressful situations, basically. When he meets Thomas Wayne and Thomas Wayne tells him that his mother is crazy, laughs uncontrollably. When he gets the files on his mother and he's in the basement, that scene right there, this is what I'm saying, like, Joaquin Phoenix is such a great actor because you can feel the pain on his face through the laughter, which is crazy. I've never seen anything like that now that I think about it. Like, because he's laughing, you don't really think much of it, but he's got like snot bubbles coming out of his nose at the same time, so you know that he's really crying inside, right? I think that's funny how they say, like, you know, clowns are, you know, sad inside or something like that. But yeah, anyway, he's going through this pain, this stress, and every time he's laughing uncontrollably. I'm going to get back to that point in a minute. Second laugh. The second laugh that he has is the higher pitched laugh, right? That's the fake laugh. Anytime he's in a position where something is supposed to be funny or he thinks something is funny, he does the ha 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 ha. It's a fake laugh. He uses that laugh to try to fit in with society. So think back to the scene where the guy Randall, the other clown that gave him the gun, he makes the joke about the midget. I don't want to call him midget. That they don't like that term anymore, right? Got to be politically correct. Yeah. So Randall makes an off-color joke or whatever. It's not really that bad. It's a miniature golf joke, and everybody's laughing. Arthur does the ha 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 ha, and as soon as he walks out of view, laugh fades, right? That wasn't the uncontrollable laugh. That was the controlled laugh, fake laugh. Wasn't really feeling it. Other time when he's at the comedy club and he's taking notes and he's laughing, his laugh is like kind of off key with everybody else's laugh. Is like off beat, right? He's not really finding what the comedian is saying is funny. He's just trying to fit in as he takes his notes on how to be funny, right? Other times he uses, when Randall comes back and asks about the gun, like when he's finally like changed and he's going into his, he's changing into the Joker, and Randall and the, I think the little guy's name was Gary. When they come to visit him, Randall does another little person joke, and right before Arthur kills Randall, he has that fake laugh again with that joke. It's the ha 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 ha. It's a fake laugh, right? So notice when he fully embraces who he is, right, as the Joker, when he fully embraces it, both of those laughs go away. He does have the fake laugh when he goes on to the television show with Murray Franklin. When he goes on that show, Murray does another joke, which was like kind of like got the crowd laughing at him. He does the fake laugh again, right? Basically showcasing that he didn't really find that joke funny, but he never gets the uncontrollable laughter again. I don't think, even at the end when he's laughing, he's really laughing. but I take this as symbolism of him fully embracing who he was. Like, he was always meant to be this force, this chaotic force. And it wasn't until he accepted who he was when he didn't have that issue, that condition anymore. Think about it. You have this man who hasn't had a happy day in his life, right? Anytime he gets into stressful situations that he can't control, the laugh comes out, the uncontrollable laugh. They say it's like it's triggered when in stressful situations, right? When he becomes the Joker, he's no longer stressed, right? He's finally able to be who he is. He finds murder funny. He finds like the death of the Wall Street guys. He revels in it. Like, it's fun to him. He no longer has this stress, so the laugh automatically goes away. Now when he laughs, it's truly coming from the heart. It's kind of sick when you think about it. Another form of symbolism that I saw in the movie was the steps. There was beautiful steps. I'm sure you've seen it in the trailer when he's the Joker and he's coming down the steps. He's in full makeup with the suit on and he's dancing. There's actually 3 scenes that I noticed when I saw it the second time where he's on these steps. 2 of the scenes, he's going up the steps, right? And he's sad. He's got on the Arthur, the yellow hoodie, and he's just like, you know, bent over, trudging up the steps. So much work. So life is so sad. When he finally embraces who he is, these are beautiful shots, by the way, of the city. When he finally embraces who he is, he comes down the steps. So 2 times he goes up the steps, he's Arthur, he's sad. 3rd time he comes down the steps, he's Joker, he's happy, he's embraced himself. So I'm wondering what kind of symbolism, I know that symbolism in itself, but you know, the descent, you know, you have him ascending up the steps, not being happy, him descending down into like hell maybe, or chaos. I don't know. I thought that was pretty interesting. But this all goes back into what I was saying about him embracing who he is, and becoming who he was meant to be. He was always meant to be the Joker. And I think that's what I get from the character. Even not even talking about this movie by itself, but just who the Joker is in general. It's hard for me to feel sorry for him. I know that they kind of wanted, you know, the whole point of the movie. I don't know what to say if it's the whole point, but they kind of try to make you feel sorry for the character. And even in other media, you kind of feel sorry for him. He has all this bad stuff happen to him, and it kind of pushes him to become who he is. And I don't agree with that. I always believe that he was supposed to be this character. He was supposed to be that. And so like all the stuff that's happening to him, yeah, it's bad, but worse things have happened to other people, and they don't become psychopathic, you know, insane killers. So, you know, I really don't have any sympathy. I didn't feel any sympathy towards him in the movie, you know. Not that I was you know, I guess you could say I had empathy, like I could feel for him, but no, like, you're supposed to be who you are, you know. And I think that's one of the main things that I find interesting about this character, is that you were always supposed to be this. You were always supposed to be this chaotic force. That's what makes him interesting to me. Alright, so now time for the things that I didn't like. Alright, so there's not too much I didn't like about the movie. I will say that I wish there was more Joker. Alright, so it's a character study. It's his origins, I understand that. So we're going from this guy who's beat down, he has low self-esteem, all this other stuff, mental issues, and he becomes, towards the end, he becomes the Joker. And I don't know, it just felt like, if there's anything that I felt like was wrong with the movie, it was that we didn't get the Joker until the end. And even still, when we got the Joker at the end, it was just kind of like, okay, well, I want to see more Joker stuff. And by that I mean Joker is a criminal mastermind, right? He has plans. And the thing about it's weird that I'm saying that he has plans. When you go back and look at The Dark Knight, you know, he says to Harvey Dent, Two-Face, he's like, do I look like a man with a plan or something like that, right? But the thing about it was Heath Ledger's Joker, I feel like he had control of being out of control, right? If that makes any sense. Like, he was controlling the situation, but he didn't really have like control. He's supposed to be the agent of chaos. So the difference between Heath Ledger's Joker and Joaquin Phoenix's Joker was that I never felt Joaquin Phoenix's Joker was ever in control. You know what I'm saying? It just felt like he was doing stuff. And I understand, like, to a degree, that's who the Joker is. Like, sometimes he just does stuff. He kills people. He's supposed to be unpredictable. But he just never felt like the Prince of Evil, the clown Prince of Evil that he's supposed to be. And again, I understand this is his origin story, so you're probably not going to get that. I don't know. Maybe another scene. I don't know. I don't know how they would have did it. It's still a good movie. But then again, that's what makes this hard to make a sequel out of. Like, I don't see them, even if they wanted to, I don't know how they would work it. Like, this can't work in any continuity. Like, this couldn't be a part of the DCEU. You can't have Batman in this world, because when you think about Batman, even when Christopher Nolan did his Batman movies, those were as realistic as you could get with a superhero movie. Nobody in those movies had superpowers. But with this movie, I don't even see how you could have Batman exist in this universe, because this is the most realistic depiction of a comic book hero that you're gonna have. There's no type of like there's no superpowers. There's nothing that didn't make sense that couldn't happen in the real world. Even the part where the Joker inspired, he inspired Gotham, like he inspired the riots and stuff like that. That could really happen. Not so much that a guy, like one guy could do that, like he'd get on TV and stuff like that, but more so like when you think about like our martyrs, that inspire writers, you have it all the time. Like, you think about Rodney King or Freddie Gray. They inspire things that happen into the city, that pretty much I see like the same thing in the Joker to an extent. And so yeah, like, things in this movie could really happen in real life. With that said, Access Media has been going around, I guess that's what you want to call it, like these news sites and you know, reviewers, like professional reviewers who review the movie. There's been a few of them that's been going around saying that this movie might inspire copycats, somebody to go out there and, you know, shoot up shit and all that. And I don't really want to get into that whole discussion. You know, maybe I'll save that for another video if you guys want to see it. I just want to say, I think it's interesting that they would push that narrative, right, of this type of movie inspiring copycats, instead of the narrative of this is really how, you know, mentally ill people are treated. Like, we don't really take care of our people, that, you know, our society doesn't really care about these type of people. Maybe we should be having that discussion. You know what I'm saying? I know people with mental illness who deal with like manic depression and schizophrenia and stuff like that, and society really doesn't care about them. You know, they'll go into a mental hospital for a week or so, and, you know, they let them off, they give them their prescription or whatever, but nobody's really taking care of these people. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's a more important discussion. And I just think it's funny that they tried to bury this film and get people not to see it, you know, instead of wanting people to see it and having an open discussion about this type of stuff. Because if you have mentally ill people out here committing mass murders, you know, shooting up Walmart, shooting up movie theaters, shooting up casinos and stuff like that. You should want to have a discussion. Yes, you want to have a discussion about guns, but you should also want to have a discussion about mental illness and what you can do to help people, man. The world is sick, man. It's crazy. I don't know. I just think that's kind of BS. That's the narrative that they want to push. God damn, this video is already 20 minutes. All right, so I'm just gonna wrap it up. Like I said, man, there can't be a sequel to this movie. It can't fit in any continuity. You can't have Batman with all of his gadgets and all of his money running around this city. It just wouldn't. It would destroy this movie, because this movie is supposed to be like really realistic. You know what I'm saying? And it's a beautiful depiction of what the Joker would look like in our society. So that's about it. That's my thoughts on the subject. If you think differently or if you agree, let me know in the comments, man. Like and subscribe, and I will check you guys later. Peace.